Ray, I've probably known you for, I want to say about 5 years now.
Yeah.
I've seen plenty of people come to you and in a short amount of time, they turn their business around or they make the switch into being full-time entrepreneur. And it seems, from being an entrepreneur myself for my entire career, it seems like you if things are going well, you're constantly playing catch up to like, okay, like my business is now elevated to this level. Now I got to elevate my skills of how to operate the business to match that level. When people find that success when they work with you, right? Like they start making $10,000-$15,000 a month. What sort of like money management issues or like things when it comes to like managing the finances of the business? Like what are your clients like running into that's like, okay, that's the next barrier. It doesn't directly contribute to my service, but it helps me operate the business. Like what are some of those issues?
So I think that there's a couple of cliches that line up with this that are true. The first is, more money, more problems. And I wouldn't necessarily say more problems, but maybe bigger problems, right? Like as you scale into next levels, like you're going to have to take bigger risks and you just have to start to develop the appetite for that. We really try to set up businesses in a way that they're super lean, they're high margin, high earning potential with a relatively like, I personally think an unlimited ceiling as you start to evolve. And the second is like you really need to fall in love with the journey, not the destination. Because I promise you that like when you hit $10,000 a month, $20,000 a month, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 a month, there's no like magic like, oh, like now I'm happy. Like there's no association with that, right? And so for me, the thought process again falls back to like, what can I do to make this thing more efficient? So some of the biggest problems that people have when they're trying to get to that next level is really just the fact that like they're scared to continuously ask for more money, or they're scared to ask for more money in a different way. And so a lot of it is teaching them a sales process that doesn't feel sleazy, that doesn't feel pushy, that is more stepping in as a guide, that is more challenging your potential clients to make a decision, even if that decision is not to work with you. And then it just becomes about like, how do I optimize the system to grow and scale without me, right? So like we teach a model that allows you to generate recurring revenue, which is relatively unheard of in the physical therapy service space. Then we teach you how to install back-end systems that do a lot of your client nurturing for you. And these are all things that traditionally at traditional clinics have been done by people, right? Like your front desk staff, or the way that a traditional clinic grows is it acquires more clients. It hires another physical therapist. But then like you now have to have the managerial stress load of not only being responsible for your caseload, but the other physical therapist caseload. So it's really just a matter of like, what kind of problem set are you willing to adopt, and where are you willing to settle? I think this is actually a huge point. Where are you willing to settle on the spectrum of the reality of what you're willing to do to make the amount of money that you're able to make, and the expectation of how much money you think you should be making? And so the biggest problem that I find with people is that their expectation of what it takes to make $15,000, $20,000 a month is very far off from the reality of what they're willing to do to get there. Right? And so a lot of times, there is this concept of like, you can keep your aspirations high, but you may need to bring your expectations down a little bit. And the reason why I preface that is because when I talk about expectations, I don't talk about what you're expecting out of other people or expecting out of yourself. I'm talking about the expectation of the outcome, so that you just aren't this ball of anxiety wondering why you're having 5K a month behaviors, but you're expecting 20K per month results.
Yeah, I like that. I think one thing that for me, when it came to like getting rid of that feeling sleazy for asking people for money, right? Offering a service is like, reframing it in your mind to like, if you know you can help that person, not offering your service, not trying to get them to become a client is doing them a disservice, right? Because if you know that you can help them, it's just about putting them in the right position to see that, okay, this is their solution then.
Yeah. And every client that I've helped for free hasn't gotten a good outcome, right? Yeah. So it's just like there has to be something at like money in the pot can literally be momentum for people. It is crazy how many people I've worked with where they like, this is not to like downplay the value of coaching, but sometimes the most impactful thing in the entire coaching experience is clicking complete purchase, because it literally sets off the domino effect of all of the things that they knew they were capable of, but they didn't have anything at risk before they would do it. Everybody could go online right now and go to ChatGPT and figure out how to start their own business. But I promise you will not get the same results as if you pay somebody $5,000, and you'll get a better result if you pay somebody $10,000. Like, it's really kind of insane the way that your brain works on that, right? We've talked about this concept of safety a lot. And a lot of what coaching is, and especially around spending money, investing money, is just teaching people that they can do the thing and still be safe, that there is the perception of safety and there's the reality of safety. And again, like, you have to be willing to help people nudge themselves and help them rewire all of the stories and all of the things about money that have kept them stuck. That is what's keeping people stuck, is the stories around money.
The information, opinions, and recommendations provided on this podcast are for entertainment purposes only and do not constitute professional financial advice. Any financial decisions you make based on the content of this podcast are your responsibility. We strongly recommend consulting with a licensed financial advisor or other qualified professional before making any significant financial decisions. By listening to this podcast, you acknowledge that we are not liable for any financial outcomes.